Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
All right, and with Michaela singing, that means we are back in the lobby bar for the week of October the 21st, 2024. Brian and Michaela with you coming from Paso Robles, California. How are you doing, Michaela? How has your trip out west been?
Oh, trip out west has been amazing. Oh my gosh, it's been so amazing. We've done all the movie things.
Yes.
We got to see Fanny's finally. We got to go have some cocktails there. We got to
Hmm.
see Joni Mitchell, which is like a lifetime dream of mine. It was amazing. Yeah, the weather was perfect. We got to tour a movie studio yesterday. It was great.
That's right. Yeah, made it to the Warner Brothers studio tour. That was pretty exciting. You know, the Academy Museum, all that stuff. We're probably going to do a bit of a check-in with that for our Patreon patrons. I don't know if we'll do that this week or after we return after this weekend because we're in wine country right now, so we can't be expected to do anything other than drink wine and drink hot toddies because Michaela, as lovely as California has been, and it's very warm during the days. Woke up this morning. There's a bit of a nip in the air, and it seems like the evenings, cooling off pretty fast. So this is the perfect time of year to light a fire, sit outside, and have something that will warm your soul. So today, for our Frangelico month, I thought we could mix up a hazelnut hot toddy, and this comes from Rabbit and Wolves website. What do you think about a hazelnut hot toddy? What do you think about hot toddies in general, Michaela? Hot booze, is that your jam?
Hot booze. So it wasn't. It always sounded like something like an old man would drink, like warm milk right before bed. Like your great grandfather or your crazy uncle would be like,
Right.
I want my
Okay.
warm milk before bed. But
Mm.
the past couple of years, with the advent of drink the movies,
Now that we've become old ourselves.
you're right. That it ends up making a lot of sense where you want something that's gonna like warm you up. It's gonna like make you feel calm. It's gonna like be the things that people have conversations around.
Mm.
But it's kind of like wine in that way, but it's booze, and therefore it just has a whole different kind of dimension. So I'm super excited about hot toddies. I love them. I've never done a hot toddy with any sort of frangelico in it, so I think that that is really
Okay.
exciting. This is
Mm.
something you can make like in bulk. It's not, it's not going
Yes.
to serve 100 people, but it'll get a crowd going.
Yeah, because I think the recipe that we're sharing with everyone today, I think is meant for two people, but you could certainly, scale this up, make it for a bunch of folks. You could certainly swap out the booze. There's a whole wide range of like alcohol free, like spirit free, liquors out there, which I think would be really good in an application like this as well. So if you wanted to go, an NA route or cut that down a little bit, you could certainly do that. But let's mix one of these up. It's going to be pretty simple. If you have any sort of like decently stocked pantry, probably, or if you're a baker, you're probably going to be able to do this okay. So into a little saucepan, go ahead and put a half cup of your Frangelico or a hazelnut liqueur, a half cup of bourbon, 1 cup of water, and a teaspoon of brown sugar. Go ahead and slowly heat that up. You want to start dissolving that brown sugar, and as that does, you can go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 cinnamon sticks, and 2 cloves. You're just basically going to warm that through so it's nice and warm for you to drink, but obviously you want to get the brown sugar dissolved in there as well. And then you can go ahead and put that out. You can maybe garnish with like an orange wheel if you wanted to. They recommend some thyme and rosemary. I don't know about that root myself. I think the orange sounds really good. But what do you think about this, Michaela? Is this going to be nice and delicious sitting by the fire tonight as we look out over the
Yeah.
beautiful California landscape?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I think what we're going to see is the bourbon and the brown sugar are going to be really forward. It's going to have this really like wholesome sweetness that only hazelnut brings. It's going to
Mm.
be like very giving of like all the things that adults like. The only thing that's missing is s'mores at this point.
Ooh, there you go.
It's very
Yeah. Make a
campfirey. It's very, like it's also kind of creepy because it's I don't know, you're going to be out in the woods looking
Oh,
at a fire, it's all things, it's giving all the things that we're doing. It's Halloween month, it's cold out, and this is
that's
going to be
right.
delicious.
It is hitting all the spots for sure, for sure. And speaking of creepy, maybe this drink isn't creepy, but maybe your environment is creepy, or maybe the movie you went and saw was creepy, Michaela, because this weekend, Smile 2, that new release leads the way with $23 million, followed by Wild Robot, Terrifier 3, Beetlejuice still hanging in there with a admirable $5 million, and We Live in Time, the Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield thing, which, fingers crossed is still going to be going strong when we make our way back to Charlotte, so we can check that out for ourselves. But Smile 2, hearing pretty good things. If you're were a fan of the first Smile, you're probably a fan of this Smile. And I know that you you traumatized some plane goers on our flight out by watching the first Terrifier. So what do you think? Are you excited to go see Terrifier 3 now? What do you think about Smile 2? I don't know. What do you think about these?
Yeah, I think watching like I don't know any sort of horror film these days on a plane is a bad idea because you're going to traumatize somebody, probably yourself.
True.
Also, I'm excited about Smile 2. I'm excited about Terrifier 3 because I just hear that it's so disturbing and I love stuff like that. So we'll see.
Mm.
But I gotta say the first Terrifier, not super great. But you were the one who told me that it was the second one that like set the world on fire and everybody was freaking out
Mm.
about. So
Yeah.
I will say there's a marked difference in the length of time between Terrifier 1 and Terrifier 2. Terrifier 1's like 80 minutes and Terrifier 2 is like 3 hours long. So that will
Okay.
not be a plane watch. That will be something where I'm crying in the corner watching it on my pad, something.
If you don't hear from Michaela for a couple of weeks here on Drink the Movies, I know that something happened. She got too scared by that clown for sure. So that's what we've got going on at the movie theater. Coming out this week though, we've got a couple of things that might be interested in. We've got a film called Conclave that stars Ralph Fiennes and Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow. It is like a looks like a political drama kind of thing. Set in the Vatican around the election of a new pope. That one's getting some pretty decent reviews out there. So might be interested to see that. And honestly, those three, right? Ray Fine, Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow. They're pretty good in anything that they do.
Yeah.
But then the one you've been waiting for with bated breath, Michaela, Venom, The Last Dance. What do you
Then
think about this? What do you think of our Catholic Church, political drama kind of thing? Or what do you think about Venom?
so I'm excited. I love Ray Fiennes. I've loved him ever since he was in The English Patient and like nobody knew what the film was, but it won like
Mm,
87,000 Oscars that year. So
true.
I've loved him for a really long time. I think that's going to be really good. Um, the Venom film, we'll see how this one ends up though. I think this is going to be the last one. It already sounds like from the previews that it's like a goodbye love song between the two of them, and then it ends in their death of some kind. So we'll
That's
see.
true. Yeah, I mean, it says the last dance right in the name, which leads you to believe this will be the last one. But here in Hollywood, nothing is ever really dead. So expect
It's true.
Venom's triumphant return in no time for sure. But yeah, that'll be fine. I'm sure we've got some people in your household that are definitely looking forward to it. So we'll probably have to make our way out to see that Conclave. I don't know if we'll get out to the theater to see, but I am very interested in it. I think it could be kind of an interesting little tale. So we'll check that out, and maybe we'll catch some TV stuff. Here we've got the new season of What We Do in the Shadows, which is amazing. That's coming out on Hulu this week. And this one isn't coming out for a couple of weeks, but I'm very excited about it. I don't know if you watched the first season of this, but Silo, an Apple TV Plus sci-fi thing, it dropped its trailer for season 2. It comes out on November the 15th. So now is the time if you want to go ahead and catch up on that first season of that. Rebecca Ferguson in that one. So pretty good there. Did you ever see Silo, or do you know anything about it, Michaela?
So I did not. I remember you texting me at some point saying you need to see this, you need to add it to your list. I'm really excited that it's getting a second season. The thing about me and watching like a series versus a film is that you invest a lot of time in it and you want to make sure that it's actually going to take off and not
Mm.
leave you hanging. I'm looking at you, Deadwood. That's what I'm doing. And Rome, both of you. Break my heart. So I'm excited that Silo's
I
got a
mean,
second
you kind
season
of
so
know
that I
how
can
Rome
catch up.
ends, right? It's a
I
real
what?
story, but I said you kind of know how Rome ends, right? So it's a real story, right? So that's okay. That's okay. I agree. I agree. But Silo had a really kind of neat ending where I think that on the first season, I think if they would have like cut it there, it would have been like this super like big cliffhanger that your mind would have like all wandered about forever. So I'm
Yeah.
excited for season 2. They dropped the trailer kind of out of nowhere. And it's coming out here in just a couple of weeks. So go ahead and catch up on that. Catch up on your movies too, Michaela. Last week we had Coco come out. That was a really good tearjerker of a time. And this week we've got coming up The Exorcist, one of the greatest films of them all. So definitely excited to talk about that. And we talked about Ichabod and Mr. Toad on our Patreon this last week. And then we went and saw Mr. Toad right in person, right at Disneyland this week. So that was pretty exciting. So check those things out if you're interested in following along with the podcast. We got the new episode coming out on Thursdays, and Patreon. We got our hangouts, bonus cocktail stuff, all the things there, Ichabod and Mr. Toad related. So go check that out. It's patreon.com/drink the movies. So I think that's going to wrap it up, Michaela. You and I have a date with the winery coming up very shortly. So let's go ahead and close out this lobby bar, and we'll talk to everyone next week.